The Night King, the frozen Lord of Death. In the ancient and icy darkness of Westeros, long before the rise of kingdoms and thrones, there emerged a being unlike any other, the Night King, the first of the White Walkers, a creature born not of love or ambition, but of magic, pain, and vengeance. Thousands of years before the events of Game of Thrones, during the Age of Heroes, the first men were at war with the mysterious and ancient race known as the Children of the Forest. In a desperate effort to defend themselves, the children performed a forbidden ritual. They captured a man, believed to be a human warrior, and plunged a dragonglass dagger into his heart, transforming him into the first White Walker. Thus, the Night King was born. But the Children of the Forest had created something they could not control. Instead of being a protector, the Night King turned against his creators. He began building an army of the undead, creating the White Walkers and wights, and setting in motion an apocalyptic war known as the Long Night, a time when darkness blanketed the world and death marched across the lands. Though the Night King was defeated and pushed far into the icy north beyond the wall by the first men and the Children of the Forest working together, he was not destroyed. For thousands of years, he waited, building his power, surrounded by the army of the dead in the frozen wastes beyond the wall. In the time of the series, the Night King returns with a vengeance. He leads a terrifying force of wights and White Walkers, attacking the lands of men, shattering the wall using the reanimated Viserion, Daenerys Targaryen's dragon. He brings the Long Night once again to the doorstep of humanity. In the climactic Battle of Winterfell, his terrifying power is put on full display. He confronts Bran Stark, now the three-eyed raven, in the Godswood, seemingly ready to end the memory of the world itself. But in his moment of triumph, he is struck down by Arya Stark, who leaps from the shadows and plunges Valyrian steel into his heart, shattering him into ice and ending the reign of the Night King forever. Name: the Night King. Species: White Walker, formerly human. Origin: transformed by the Children of the Forest during the Age of Heroes. Title: The Night King. Affiliations: White Walkers, Army of the Dead. First appearance: Game of Thrones, TV series, Season 4. Death: killed by Arya Stark during the Battle of Winterfell, Season 8, Episode 3. Powers and abilities. The Night King was not just a mindless monster. He was a master of dark magic and cold death. Resurrection of the dead. His most terrifying power: he could raise the dead simply by lifting his arms. From fallen soldiers to ancient corpses, he swelled the ranks of his army with every battle. Creation of White Walkers. Unlike wights, zombie-like creatures, White Walkers were intelligent, magical beings. The Night King could turn human infants into White Walkers by touching them, ensuring his legacy and commanders lived on. Immunity to fire. Unlike other undead, the Night King was immune to dragonfire, enduring a full blast from Drogon without a scratch. This made him nearly invincible on the battlefield. Superhuman strength and durability. He displayed unnatural strength, hurling weapons with deadly precision and resisting almost all forms of attack. Traditional weapons could not harm him, only dragonglass and Valyrian steel could. Weather control. The Night King's presence brought a wave of winter with him. Snowstorms and freezing cold followed wherever he went, cloaking the battlefield in blizzards and chilling the air itself. Telepathic bond with the undead. He had full control over his army, moving as one unified force. His mind could command thousands of wights and his White Walker generals simultaneously. Dragon reanimation. Perhaps his most devastating act was resurrecting Viserion, turning the dragon into a weapon of ice and death, capable of destroying even the wall. The Night King was more than just a villain, he was the embodiment of death, silence, and the forgotten darkness that lies at the edge of the world. He never spoke a single word, never showed emotion, and never relented in his purpose. His existence reminded us that beyond politics, war, and pride, there is a greater threat: the cold end that comes for all living things. He may have been destroyed, but the terror he brought will never be forgotten. The Night King was a symbol of what happens when mankind tampers with forces beyond its control. And though the long night was ended, his shadow will linger in the stories whispered around fires in the dead of winter. In the end, the Night King fell not to armies or dragons, but to courage, surprise, and the spark of life that no darkness can ever truly extinguish. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more legendary character stories.